Welcome back guys, Video Game Expert here, and in today's episode, we're going to learn how to fix the Joy-Con drift on your Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. There are a couple tests we're going to want to run before we actually replace the physical thumbstick, so let's start by updating our controllers. We'll go into System Settings, go into Controllers and Sensors, and hit Update Controllers, and let it do its thing. So Joy-Con drift is a large problem within the Switch community, and Nintendo knows about it, so I want to let you know that they do offer free thumbstick replacements. Just go to nintendo.com and check out the Joy-Con return program. I've seen reviews that say that this can take from 3 days to 3 weeks to get your Joy-Cons back, so if you're impatient and you want to do it yourself, continue watching this video. Now that we've updated our controllers, we're going to go ahead and go to Calibrate Control Sticks and see if the system can recognize any problems with our Joy-Cons. And here, as you can see, when I pull down on the Joy-Con, it doesn't reach the outer side of the circle. You see it will pull up and not reach, which means that there is something wrong with that Joy-Con. Our last step before replacing the entire thumbstick is we're going to recalibrate the thumbstick and see if that fixes the problem. As you can see, our right Joy-Con doesn't seem to have any problems. You can see that little ball right on the outside of the circle like it's supposed to be, and it snaps back right to the middle with the plus sign. So that means everything's good to go with this one. Now, since our left blue Joy-Con had problems, we're going to recalibrate that. So just click on Calibrate, wiggle that stick, then we'll hit the X button, and from there, just follow the tutorial, and we'll see if that fixes our problem. With our calibration now complete, let's go ahead and retest that thumbstick, and as you can see, that circle now pulls all the way down outside the ring, which it's supposed to, and it seems to be snapping right back into place when we let go of the thumbstick with that plus sign. If the thumbstick appears to continue to have problems after you calibrate it, then we're going to need to go ahead and replace that entire thumbstick. As always, all tools used will be linked in the video's description. Today we're going to need our screwdriver, a small Phillips head bit, a tri-wing bit, some tweezers, and our replacement thumbstick. It is very important to note that when we replace this thumbstick, we're going to be dealing with a bunch of small ribbon cables, so be very careful not to rip these ribbon cables or we'll have extra work to do. We're going to start this repair by grabbing our screwdriver and putting in our tri-wing bit. We'll flip the Joy-Con controller over, and as you'll see, there are 4 tri-wing screws that we need to take out, so let's go ahead and do that now. Once we have all 4 tri-wing screws removed, we're going to separate the shells from one another, and to do that, we're going to kind of grab right here where the 2 controllers meet, and we'll gently pull them apart. If you want, you can use a small plastic pry tool to get inside that crease and just drag it all the way down, and those pieces should separate. Be extremely careful when separating these 2 pieces, as they are connected by a few ribbon cables, as you'll see. As long as we're careful, there's no need to remove those 2 ribbon cables, so we'll just set it side by side, and then we're going to need to take out the battery. It is held in by some tape on the underside, so we're just going to need to pry this up. It should come up rather easily. The battery will still be connected by 2 wires, so we'll just kind of swing that down to the bottom and get it out of our way. The left and right Joy-Cons are a little different inside, but it's pretty much the same procedure regardless of which Joy-Con you're using. So now we'll take out that tri-wing bit and we'll pop in our Phillips bit, and we'll have 3 Phillips head screws that we need to remove. With those 3 Phillips head screws removed, we're going to remove this plastic piece. Make sure to be very gentle as it is connected by a ribbon cable right here. So just unwrap that and set that to the side. From here, we're going to be dealing with a lot of small ribbon cables, so it's important to be extremely careful. Each one of these ribbon cables is held into one of these plastic housings. All you need to do is gently pull up on one of those black tabs, and then the ribbon cable should slide right out. We'll take that one out just to get that out of our way. Then we'll go ahead and come down to the actual thumbstick ribbon cable. We'll pop up that black piece, and then it should slide right out. There's only one more ribbon cable preventing us from taking out the thumbstick. It's right here. And if that button pops off, make sure you keep it with the spring and just set it to the side. Then we're going to go ahead and pull up the gray tab from the front, which is a little different than the ones from before, and then we can pull out that ribbon cable. With that last ribbon cable removed, we're going to go ahead and grab our screwdriver and make sure we have that Phillips bit in. And we're going to remove these 2 Phillips head screws right here holding the thumbstick in. With those 2 Phillips head screws removed, we can now remove the entire thumbstick unit from the controller. We'll just pull it out right there. We'll grab that old thumbstick and yeet! Now we're going to go ahead and grab our new replacement thumbstick. And to put it in, make sure you're doing that the right way, matching up that ribbon cable facing down. And then we're just going to pop it right in there. You're now going to want to grab your screwdriver with the Phillips head bit. We'll grab those 2 Phillips head screws and reinsert them into the thumbstick housing. We are now coming up in what my opinion is the hardest part of this repair, getting all of these ribbon cables back into their holders. So what you're going to want to do is just try your best and take your time and be very gentle, line it up, and then push it through, making sure that it feeds correctly. And when it does, you're going to want to snap back down that black plastic piece, which holds that ribbon cable in place. Now, all we're going to do is use that exact same method to reapply the rest of the ribbon cables. Take your time and be gentle. You don't want to break anything here. Okay guys, if you're enjoying the video, there's no better time than now to go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure to comment down below any ideas you have for future videos or any tips and tricks you have of your own, as I'd love to hear from you. Make sure to subscribe to my channel as it helps the channel grow, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified every time a new video is posted. If this piece fell off, make sure that the spring's still attached, and we'll just slide it right into place, making sure that spring goes into the little slot right there, and the edge of the button lip is right under that blue area right there. Then just go ahead and push it down and make sure everything feels correct. If everything feels good, it's now time to reassemble the controller. So we'll go ahead and grab this plastic piece, flip it around, and make sure that that ribbon cable is not going to snag on anything and fits right in that little spot. It should fall right into place, and from there we can reattach the 3 Phillips head screws. With all three of those screws securely in place, we can go ahead and grab our battery pack, and we'll just set it right down in the casing, and it should fit with no problems. From here, we're going to realign the two shells of the controller, and once you do, you just slide it right down and push it together, and everything should click right into place. From here, we're going to reinstall the 4 tri-wing screws into the shell of the controller. Now with the Joy-Con fully reassembled, I want to go ahead and press all the buttons to make sure everything feels as it should, and if it does, we'll go ahead and hook this back up to the Switch and make sure everything works perfectly. When you install a brand new thumbstick, you may have to calibrate it, so we're just going to go ahead and make sure everything's updated again, then we'll go to calibrate controller and see how it looks. As you can see right here, there's no plus sign, so that means that the stick is off center a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and calibrate it and make sure that fixes our problem. With our new thumbstick calibrated, you can see the plus in the center every time we let go of the thumbstick, letting you know that it is completely centered. We'll go ahead and do that outer ring test to make sure everything checks out. And since it does, congratulations, you have successfully replaced the thumbstick and gotten rid of the Joy-Con drift in your Joy-Con Nintendo Switch controller. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.